That was their first away match in Division 1, and how well they've maintained their momentum, especially without Jerry Armstrong and Ross Jenkins for various injury spells. At number 9 today, Jimmy Gilligan makes his 4th appearance in the First Division just 2 days before his 19th birthday. Southampton's top scorer, Danny Wallace, was 19 yesterday, and he's part of an attack strengthened by the return after injury of a player well known at Vicarage Road, Keith Castles, who began his league career with Watford and made 12 league appearances for them before joining Oxford. Referee this afternoon is Tom Bune from Newbury. Graham Taylor's team have lost only once at home this season. That was to Manchester United, and trying to become the second side to beat them, Laurie McMenemy's Southampton will employ 3 central defenders and push their 2 fullbacks up on the Watford wingers. Southampton playing in the red and white shirts and black shorts from right to left. As Nick Holmes will be wearing number 7, but playing more or less as a left back. And that was Sims on Castles. Cool, dry afternoon as Holmes prepares to take the free kick, and Chris Nicholl has made his way forward on the far side of the penalty area. He's coming in now, but Sims was there first. Here's Blissett. Jacket. Mark Wright. Off Nicholl to Williams, Southampton captain these days. Steve Moran, but it was Gilligan who got his foot in. Here's Mick Mills playing at right back. Danny Wallace. Swift and neat, and that was also quite nice from Castles to Moran. Holmes is in the area, Castles again. Moran followed through. This is Holmes, shot by Moran, who's been encouraged by Laurie McMenemy to forget the troubles he's had over the last couple of years and adopt a firmer mental approach to his game. Steve Moran. Callaghan playing on the left early on with Barnes on the right, in an attempt perhaps to just confuse Southampton slightly. Here's Callaghan again. Away by Wright. Here's Rostron. Callaghan. Ball evading Gilligan and Barnes, but interesting how quickly Watford regained possession there when their initial advance appeared to have been repelled. They're so quick at getting the ball back into the danger area. Something that the fans here have been used to this season with this straightforward approach of Watford's. Bolton forward. Callaghan with Mills. Look at them hustling. Williams there in possession. A little bit of afters there. Steve Williams, the offender. Southampton are angry about the initial challenge, which he says was on him by Callaghan, but Callaghan was the player that went down when the referee looked round, and Steve Williams is being spoken to and really has got to do something about curbing his reaction at times to opponents. Free kick then to Watford to be taken by Nigel Callaghan. Gilligan, it's still there for him, away by Nicholl. And Steve Sims' long throw, an important part of the Watford armoury in positions like this. Blissett leaning a bit into Nicholl, was he, or was it the other way around? Nothing given. Hooked back in by Les Taylor. Agbula's up with Blissett, who hooks it on, and away by Holmes. Rostron. And there's Blissett. Oh, he turned away from Agboola. Rostron's in there, well saved. The amount of times that Watford feed Rostron into the attack, quite remarkable. Gets forward so well, formerly a winger in his days with Arsenal and Sunderland. Foul by Wallace before he had the shot. Although, little tussle between Wallace and Pat Rice this afternoon. Could have a say in whether Southampton managed to do better at Vicarage Road than most of Watford's previous visitors. Jacket, cut out by Mills. Agboola with Blissett. I think it was the second challenge that would be penalised, not the first. Little kick on the ankle of Luther Blissett by Ruben Agboola after Blissett had resisted the first impact. Gilligan up with Shilton. Les Taylor couldn't convert it. Shilton, I think, got kicked in the face, or certainly either there or on the hand. Gilligan was the player who went up with the goalkeeper. The impact into the face of Peter Shilton. The ball ran loose and Les Taylor wasn't far off scoring. Bolton holding off Danny Wallace. Wright and Nicol coping very well in the opening period here. Mills, the header from him, not quite so good, and it was on by Gilligan to Callaghan. And the shot striking Holmes. Won back by Rostron for Watford. And Callaghan fouled by Moran, who may get booked here. There was a shout of steady, but I did a little bit. And he's getting his name taken, Steve Moran, for the trip on Nigel Callaghan. Brave by Chris Nicol. Oh, well played by John Barnes. Forced a corner from a very tight area there. To make the punch. Also sorting out defenders around him. And the England goalkeeper responding here to some awkward corners from John Barnes. Bear in mind that Shilton had a smack in the mouth just 3 or 4 minutes ago. Les Taylor back in. Sims climbing. And the clearance by Moran. And a corner again. Callaghan will take this one. Gilligan's up, so is Blissett. And Shilton working wonders again in a crowded 6-yard area. I say working wonders because he's still suffering quite clearly from the bang he received from Jimmy Gilligan's challenge earlier. And he had to handle 3 corners there that were curled into the 6-yard box, which Watford predictably packed. Blissett. Jacket. Up and under. Off the head of Holmes. Taylor, right out, Rice, Shilton getting everything behind it. Oh, there's plenty of power in the shot from Pat Rice. And the Southampton manager pauses perhaps to sign an autograph after admiring a very good save from his England goalkeeper. Oh, an absence of penalty area chances anyway in that first half. Peter Shilton coping very well behind a Southampton defence who've obviously worked out the best way they feel you have to play against Watford, and up to now, despite that smack in the mouth that Shilton received, his team have done their job well. Chris Nichols wearing a headband to protect a cut he received against Coventry, had 5 stitches. With the season past the halfway mark, Watford beginning to play teams for the second time, and that might prove an interesting comparison to see whether opponents have learnt anything from their first meeting against the surprise team in Division 1 this season. Southampton, bear in mind, let in 11 goals on their 2 previous encounters against Watford. And kept them out so far this afternoon. Jackett. Steve Williams lost the ball there. Half won back by Nicol, and he'll get it now. Came off Rostron to Castles. That's a poor pass straight to Armstrong. Holmes. Southampton with 4 players forward in this attack, and Armstrong's ghosting through and brings the save from Steve Sherwood. Armstrong drifting goal side of Les Taylor, getting on the end of the through ball, and Sherwood down to his right. A warning for Watford there. Nicol on Blissett. Here's Callaghan. There have been 1 or 2 little collisions and knocks inside the penalty area that might have a cumulative effect in the referee's mind if it goes on. Throw in by Sims. Wright is up with Gilligan. Feels for handball. And all Watford will get is a corner. And again, it's down to organisation now in the Southampton defence. They know what to expect. Sims and Gilligan on the near post. Barnes to curl one. And Shilton coming to meet Gilligan. Quite a close examination of the England goalkeeper in his own 6-yard area from these Watford corners. And he's passed it with top marks so far. Oh, and away by Castles from almost on the line. Mistake by Agboola, a shot by Blissett, ricochet off Rostron, and Castles again. Not quite the role he had in mind coming back to Vicarage Road, Keith Castles, but he's back there in his own 18-yard area, and he's made 2 very timely interventions. But will he have to make a third, because Steve Sims will take the throw. Right with the header out. Castles helps it on. Jackett. It's the usual build-up of Watford attacking here, which has worn many teams down this season. Will Southampton crack, or will they hold out as Bolton comes forward? Oh, Shilton getting right behind that. Ian Bolton still looking for his first goal in Division 1. Mills. Watford pushing up and making the Southampton defenders hurry into a poor clearance, which ultimately came from Ruben Agboola after Nicol and then Mills had found it was impossible to go the way they wanted. There's only one way Watford want to go, and that's forward. which they will do, courtesy of another throw from Steve Sims. Les Taylor, it came off right, and Holmes away from Callaghan. The throw seeks out Gilligan. Wright leaning on him a bit, perhaps. Callaghan against McMills, and a corner again. Sims with a flick, it came off right, back by Williams, corner again. Watford now have forced 15 corners in the match. This time Holmes was there with Sims. Barnes, and Holmes, who's played very well at left back, was there to block the shot as well. But still Southampton can't relax. Here comes Sims with the long throw. Right away from Gilligan. Familiar pattern. Back in by Taylor. Nicol! Oh, it's an own goal. Chris Nicol. What bad luck for him and for Southampton. 67 minutes gone. It was lofted back in. And Chris Nicol, an inadvertent deflection which all defenders must have sleepless nights about from time to time. And it dropped wide of Shilton, who had no chance at all. And Watford take the lead, courtesy of an own goal. It was well won by Kenny Jackett, trying to put Luther Blissett away. I don't want to be unkind to Chris Nicol, but he won't mind me reminding us that he once scored 2 own goals in the same match, but also scored 2 at the other end. Quite remarkable occurrence when he was responsible for all 4 goals in a 2-all draw. So, Nicol, the goal scorer, tries to put matters right by forcing Southampton forward. Holmes is up there. Taylor, offside against Gilligan. Well, Southampton, who haven't won for 5 games, will be looking a little anxiously towards the bottom of the table if they lose here. And the manager will be hoping that his side can create something in the last 20 minutes to turn the match round. On the other hand, if Southampton do risk further forward, here's Blissett. And 2-0, a mistake by Chris Nicol, who now has to hold up his hands for both goals. Just when Southampton looked like pushing players forward, trying to get the goal back, Chris Nicol gave the ball away, and Luther Blissett was in. A nice, tidy finish past Peter Shilton, giving Blissett his 14th goal of the season for Watford, and putting his side 2-0 up. In fact, it's Blissett's first goal in the league since November the 20th, when we saw him score 2 penalties here against Brighton. Was that a foul by Rostron? Well, certainly McMills thought he was unlucky. Forward by Gilligan. There's a flag up there actually for an offside had the ball gone through. Barnes. Williams away from him, and then tripped by Jackett. So have Southampton got anything left here? There are just under 5 minutes to go. They're 2-0 down. Williams with the free kick. Wright is well forward, away by Jackett. Barnes. Blissett running well here for Gilligan's pass. Two to his right. One of them being Callaghan. Taylor over on the right wing now. Can he slip Armstrong? Bolton. Forward for Callaghan. Round Holmes. Callaghan's cross. Blissett. Good save by Shilton. So Watford complete the first double of their very successful opening season in the First Division. Having won 4-1 at the Dell, they beat Southampton here 2-0. The 2 goals coming in a 6-minute spell, which Chris Nicholl, I suppose, would prefer to forget. The first was an own goal by him, and the second, he's being consoled there by the man who took advantage. A back pass intercepted and put away by Luther.